the people in the front and the people in the rear. When you came to the door, you expected to see a BGG and Shabue, gods in the street, rock the ceremony. Do, 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 do. So sweet. Hey, folks, listen. Thank you for joining me. Hey, just in case you're joining me for the very first time, I'm your host, the one they call Brian Glaze Gibbs. And these are my stories. This is my ministry. What I do is I talk about the good, I talk about the bad, I talk about the ugly. Why do I do that? Because once again, my life was spared. And being that my life was spared for a reason. You know, here it is right now where sometime, you know what, you got to go through hell. Sometime you have to be tested. Without no test, there's no testimony. And right now, me being a young, dumb, foolish individual, lost in the source and a love with the concrete jungle, guess what? It was a price to pay. Despite I knew right from wrong, but guess what? I went astray. I was brought up in the church, baptized, on a choir. You know, I used to be on an usher board. I used to be on a singing choir. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I can remember some of the stuff that right now is some of the song. I want to sing so bad. I want to sing so bad. Wait, I'm trying to say, send it on down, Lord, send it on down. Lord, let that Holy Ghost come on down. Say I can't pray right until that Holy Ghost come. Lord, let that Holy Ghost come on down. Say I can't shout right until that Holy Ghost come. We used to do that, man. But yet and still, how? Me growing up growing up in the church, knowing right from wrong, still goes straight. Because once again, here it is, the temptation from the street. You know, right now, what you heard that guy, what's that guy name? R. Kelly, your body's calling. The street was calling, man. The street was calling. I hear you calling. Here come the street. Come on, man. I lost. So today, right now, I'm sitting here with Shabue, God in the street. He got a platform or whatever. And right now, what we're going to talk about right now is some of the things that me and him got together today. And what we're trying to do is, how do I right my wrong? How do he right his wrong? We went around today giving out, you know what I'm saying, right now to the less fortunate, feeding, you know, people that's out there in the street, the homeless. Because that's what it's all about. It's like, how do you get back, man? How do you right your wrong? Folks, listen, man, anybody can be one step away from being homeless, one step away from being hungry, one step away from, you know, falling down to the abyss, total darkness. That's it. And right now is, I was once the problem. Now what I'm seeking to do, be part of the solution. So Shabue, man, how you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing great, bro. Okay. I'm doing especially great when you called me earlier, you know, and came over and came up with the ideal, you know, about us doing something today with the homeless. And that's one of the main reasons why, you know, we click like the way that we click, because I see this sincerity, you know, and you can't be around just talking about stuff and not doing stuff. So we went out today and, you know, we gave out as many bags that we could to the homeless, and we did something productive.
Yeah, because that's what it's all about, man. Like right now, that's what the BGG movement is like. The Brian Glaze Gibbs, the BGG movement is best to give than receive. How do you get back, man? And to me right now is, that's the foundation that I'm starting. You know, I got it's best to give than receive from my late moms. Because that's what she taught us. She taught us it was best to give than receive. And right now, Lydia, how you doing? Everybody, how you doing? Renee, how you doing, my sister? How you doing, Money Love? Money Love, y'all. Money Love, y'all. Hey, Money Love. We got a picture. Me, Money Love, Rick Martin, and I forgot the young lady named Kim, Little Kim. Not the rapper Little Kim, but Little Kim way back when, man. We was on 42nd Street, that war, man. And like you said right now, when you salute the, hey, _power, salute to you, man. Hey, but it's like when you sit back and you think about, how do we get back, man? How do we make this right, man? Like I said, I got a hell of a reputation. You know, right now, you remember me. You remember me. Right now, you a little older than me, man. Mm-hmm. So right now, when you sit back and you think about it right now, it's like coming up. I was a snotty-nosed kid, you know, from being in the street. And how I went from being a snotty-nosed little kid to becoming, you know, a Glaze. Two totally different individuals.
I'm laughing because, you know, no disrespect, you know, once again, my man Vern, but that's where it all started, you know, and next thing I know on the other side, he was like, yo, Glaze shot Vern, you know, and That was the beginning, you know, and all it takes is like everything else that you may try in life, you know, when you get started. That's why people got to be careful with the things that you start, because those are the things that could lead you into the path of developing who you know, become.
And see, right now is guess what? That was a sucker move. You know, I got mad at Vern for some BS, and right now, you know what? The problem was I shot him because I'm trying to impress people. See, that's the problem. Being a people pleaser, we so wrapped up into trying to please people that don't give a damn about us, trying to front. You know, I always calls. Initially, I didn't know it back then, but New York City, light, camera, action, Broadway. People don't understand that's New York City. And right now, to me, we used to use that terminology, fronting. You know, what is fronting? You know, saying when anytime you act other than yourself, that's just fronting. But we was fronting. I became something that I wasn't. Because if you keep doing certain things, you start mastering that.
But you know what it was too, Glaze? Just like I did an article not too long ago, and I didn't even realize how small East New York was until I found that article called Killing Grounds. 5.5 square miles East New York is. 75th precinct in that article said when you walked in, the clipboard was dripping with blood.
Wow.
They said that at the height of the career from the 80s to the early 90s, that our hood on the worst night could average every 22 minutes a body.
Wow.
That every 63 hours in our hood, it was guaranteed a body back then. I'm not glorifying none of this, but this is all a part. Just like when I just did a little thing not too long ago, you know what I'm saying, with WAC 100 coming to East New York to have a so-called fight with Mano. You know what I'm saying? We come from there. Matter of fact, one of his crew members, you know, Guy Tony, you know, that they put a part of that we know very well, is another reason why that brother shouldn't have came out there. We from there. Certain things, people, just don't make no sense.
And like you said right now, there's a lot of stuff don't make no sense. And that's what I'm trying to tell people right now. You know, between the age of 14 to 24, I became Glaze. Between the age of 14 to 24, I became a menace. I became like, you know, right now, it's like at one point in time, they accused me. When I got picked up in November 88, they say that from June 87, June 22nd, 1987, to November 10th, 1988, when I got picked up, they tried to accuse me of having one body per week. And to me right now, it's like, don't get me wrong, I had a little reputation, but that reputation preceded itself. But you know, when you sit back and think about it, even with that reputation, right now is, only thing I did was hurting my own people. People that look like me, people that talk like me, people that walk like me, people that act like me. Is that right now is, like here it is, I had a bunch of people following me for what? All of the wrong reason. So I look back and think about it. Imagine if I would have had these individuals following me, saying that there was not going to be no crime. There was not going to be no drugs, no robbery, no burglary, no killing, no crime in our geographical area. Even if I was started with Cyprus first and putting together the right people, because we could have, if everybody could have bought into that vision. But no, I was lost. I was caught up into, I was in love with that concrete jungle. I was in love with that fast life, man. Not knowing that only thing come fast with trouble.
Exactly. You know, and looking at it from that point of view back then, that's how a lot of us, you know, got caught up in what we got caught up in. Because the streets was there, and a lot of times we glorified the wrong things, and the only reason why we glorified the wrong things was because those are the only things that we ever saw. You know, if you take people out of the environments, you can see that they become a different type of individual. You know, but if you always surrounded by concrete, like when I went into the projects, we was already groomed for the penitentiary. When you walk into the buildings, what you see? Slabs of concrete. When we go into the projects nowadays, just like you went back recently, what they got? Bright lights all up in the projects. Just like when you go to the penitentiary at night, you're guaranteed the bright lights is going to come on because they want to see if you're going to escape escaping
Wow.
is a mentality.
But look what you say. Okay, cool. Even with that being said, a lot of times when I go back there and I see some of the same people that been there that never left. The fortunate part about that was like what I love about growing up in New York, being born and raised in New York taught me diversity. You know, you grew up with the big melting pot of the world. You grew up with every nationality. You grew up right now, even before what they call that, you know, what they call that, the LBGT, what they call that right now, man?
LBGT.
Yeah, so even before that, we grew up with all that. We seen all that. And the difference was, man, like how? You know, right now, I said New York taught me diversity and accept people for who they are. And right now, every year during the summertime, what happened was, as soon as school was out, my mom's and her sister, they got me and my sibling and my first cousin, and they packed us up and sent us to South Carolina. And what South Carolina taught me was mannerism, respect. You know, I remember the first time being in South Carolina, and my aunt, my mother, older sister called me. She called my name, and you know, and I say, huh, what? Whop, right up back of my head. I'm like, I'm over there like, what did I do? You know, the difference was no. When adults speak to you or call you, you say, yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And right now, I still remember that slap. Despite that slap was probably like 85 and a half years ago. I still remember that slap. And I remember that. And
that's the same thing when he was talking about that, you know, earlier. All of us came from the South. The same process went along with me. My moms and them used to send me and my cousins and all of us down to McLennanville, South Carolina. You know, bless my great aunt, Rebecca. She was 88 years old. When she used to say, when the sun go down, you better be in the house. You better be in the house. She'll track us down, 88 years old, run us down with switches and all of that. But that's what made us better individuals.
Okay, and sit back and you think about that, right? You know, and to me, whereas we had the opportunity, the best of both worlds, because once again, a lot of people didn't have nowhere to go. A lot of people never left the projects or left that metropolitan area. And that is so sad to me because once again, you know, life, man, is what we make it. And life has so much to offer. We can live to be forever and a day, and we will still never be able to enjoy some of the finer things that life has to offer. Do you know that?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But here it is right now where everybody so used to getting caught up, the sirens. You know, that's like music to our ear because we're so used to it. We're immune to that. We hear it all the time. You know, right now is, you know, the shooting. Every time you look around, you know, pop, 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 pop. You know, and like he said with the lights, man, here it is. It's gotten so bad that when you go to these neighborhoods now, they got cops everywhere. You got blue and white patrol car every point you look at it. And not only that, opposed to back when I was coming up, they didn't have auto cameras. Now they got camera
apartments. Everywhere. They got apartments in the projects they done made into police headquarters.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And see, right now, because that's how bad it gotten, who the heck want to live under those terms, under those conditions? But sometime right now is you don't know nothing better. You don't know is a life outside of that illegal criminal mentality. You don't know right now is, guess what? The biggest thing that you can have in life is peace, man. Peace. Peace, love, and tranquility, man.
That's right. We say, you know, in our joint, in our lessons, you know, the 12th letter is L. You know, people go through love, hell, and then they come out right. You know what I'm saying? We received the love from our parents, you know, when we was young. And then, you know what I'm saying, our environment took us through the hell. And now that we are grown men and been through that hell, we not getting up here to glorify what we did and what we was a part of. We getting up here and we telling y'all these stories so that y'all don't gotta go through the hell. You know, y'all can just deal with the love and come out right without having to go through all the hell.
Like people, like I say, those you that, you know, out there that listen to it, you know what, like it, share it, comment. Right now, support the cause, donate. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I am taking donation because like I told you, me and him, what we was out here today, we was feeding the homeless. And that's what I want to start doing, man. It's best to give than receive. That's what the BGG movement is all about. How do we get back? How do Shabue, God's No Street, how do we right our wrong? You know, it's easy, you know, back then, you know, you do something wrong and you don't think nothing of it. But once again, like I said right now, to me, the big turning point and the big changing point in my life came when I was incarcerated, and the woman that I love more than life itself, my mother, right now is when I got the word, you know what I'm saying, that my mother passed away, that my mother was no longer with me. You talking about right now is that pain you wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy. Now, here it is when, you know, Malcolm X said, when the rooster come to crow, you know what I'm saying, how that saying go?
When the chickens come to grassroots. Or,
yeah, but even with that being said, it's like right now I have to deal and understand the pain and suffering that I was personally responsible for, directly, indirectly, inflicted upon the victim and their family. Now I'm able to understand how they feel. Why I was able to understand how they feel, because what I had to do is I had to take my foot out of my own shoes and put it in their shoes. Sometimes right now you can't judge a person about what they're going through or how they feel. Only way you can judge somebody until you can put your foot in their shoes and feel their pain. And to me, it took my mother, the woman I love more than life itself. My mother was my mother, my father, my big sister, my best friend. And right now, when she passed away, you know what? I'm talking about boo-hoo-hoo cry. Not only that, I wasn't just in jail, I was in the hole. You know what I'm saying? Locked down 23 to 24 hours a day. And I just can remember that whole situation. And that was one of the turning points in my life. And even right now, don't get me wrong, folks, when you out there and you in those streets and you calling shot and you calling orders and you talking about who lived and who died. I can remember after one time I was away and I called a hit. And that hit was done. I can remember flying back, coming back to New York, you know what I'm saying, around my guys, telling them, man, who am I to say who lived and who died? I am not God. I'm not God. I didn't want to do it no more. But guess what? When you so caught up, when you in too deep, guess what? How can you escape? How you gonna escape? You're gonna either escape by dying of a violent death, or you're gonna escape by going to that penal. That's the only way out. Only thing different is my challenge to each and every one of y'all, listen to the words that come out of my mouth. I don't gotta pretend. I don't gotta make up anything or whatever. Google Brian Glaze Gibbs. You know, you're gonna have your haters, oh, he was in this, he was. I don't give a damn. I wish I was none of that. I wish I didn't have the reputation that I had. I wish I didn't waste 15 years out of my life that I cannot get back. I wish right now was, guess what, that I didn't have to make a deal. I wish right now I never hurt, kill, or poison nobody. I wish I never did robbery, stealing, you know, selling fake jewelry. I wish I never did none of that. Because once again, here it is, I'm a working man. I'm a law-abiding and productive citizen. I done had 2-3 jobs at the same time. Why? Because when I got out, I refused to go backwards. I refused to continue to allow my mother loving and teaching the upbringing be in vain. So once again, I made a commitment that was not going back. I made a commitment once I got, you know what I'm saying, on July 28th, 1997, I hit Powerball. I hit Mega Million. I hit Lotto. I hit the Cash 5. I hit Pick 4, Pick 3. I hit all that in one day. And once again, I refuse to let that go in vain. I refuse to continue to get back out there doing the same stupid old thing, picking up that brick, throwing at that prison wall for absolutely nothing, man. When I say crime doesn't pay, I'm telling you, without no test, you don't have no testimony.
That's right. And see, that's the thing, you know, people gonna have whatever they got to say. My thing is not how you start out, it's how you finish in life. You know, how you change the things in your life that was negative and now realize, you know, that you could be doing something positive. You know, they know, like, you know, he know a lot of different 5%ers, you know, but he know me. And he know that this is the way I've been always. You know what I'm saying? But still, that doesn't take anything away from with me having all the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding that I got still caught up in that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And we always find ways to justify it while we doing it. Oh, well, the Caucasian people were made us slaves and this, that, and the third. Because even with them, they'll tell you back then, if we going out to hit somebody, we going, you know, straight up to hit somebody white or whatever. Because my justification was they had us in 400 years of slavery. They did this, they did that. So it's okay for me to go out now and to take from them. But in all actuality, it's not right for me to take from nobody. You know what I'm saying? A nigga means any person of low characteristics. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with pigmentation. You got good people and you got bad people of every different type of nationality. And like Glaze said, by us being born and raised in New York City, you know what I'm saying? We had that exposure to the diversity of different people with different ethnical backgrounds and everything else. So we learned from being in that melting pot how to coexist with a whole lot of different people and being exposed to different cultures and nationalities and things like that. And that helped us along the way later on throughout, you know, our journey in life. You know, so by us getting together, like I said, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what roads that we take to get to the same destination, you know? And our destination now is to make sure that we let y'all young brothers, sisters, white, black, Asian, whatever, that you know what I'm saying, that we could come together and we could do positive things more than we can have a disagreement, you know what I'm saying, and negative things. We don't want, you know what I'm saying, I don't like niggas neither. I don't like nobody that's gonna wait after I go to work and work 2 jobs and they waiting for me to leave out my house so they can break into my house. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the guy that, you know what I'm saying, I jump out my car at a gas station because I got a piece of jewelry on, you know what I'm saying, he'll stick a gun in my face. But there was a time that we was
That lost soul.
those individuals, those lost souls. You know what I'm saying? And stop saying y'all old, this, that, and the third. Remember one thing, the young can't do without the old, just as well as the old can't do without the young. We have the wisdom, we have the experience, you know what I'm saying, to guide you into the right direction. One of my OGs told me, he said, experience is not always the best teacher. Why do you want to experience something negative? If I tell you you're going down the road and it's a dead end and you go down there 90 miles an hour, you're gonna crash into that wall and die. Why do you need to experience that? Why you can't listen? Knowledge means to look, listen, and observe, but the most important part is to respect. Respect your elders, just like we respect the youth.
You know what? Like I say, listen to the words that are coming at your mouth. You know, even having the time to us to congregate, you know what I'm saying, to socialize. Right now, guess what? You know, I knew you for like, what? Damn, what? Like, I'm 91 and a half. And see, a lot of times you keep talking about age. Age ain't nothing but a number to me. I embrace it. I think I look good for 91 and a half.
Well, did you know me since you was 80? I mean,
longer than that, man. 60s.
Yeah,
Hey, but
but
right now but when you look good, you feel good, you do good. But back then, when we was coming up, guess what? My mind was clouded. And even right now, my mind was clouded. I was polluted. And despite I didn't get high, I didn't drink, I didn't do none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You down, hey, how you pronounce that? Jacqueline Shaver, I'm down with BGG. Yeah, thank you, man. You know what I gotta tell you right now? Hit that like button, subscribe, share, donate to my Cash App, BGG Official, because that's what it's all about. How do we get back, man? Like I said right now, without no test, you don't have no testimony, man. I went through hell, man, and I'm glad I am who I am. Like I say, I hate the person that I was. I hated that person. The person that I was that stole 15 years out of my life between the age of 14 and 24. People don't understand. When you Google Brian Glaze Gibbs and you look at the backstory or whatever, I did everything like that. All that stuff, that reputation was by the time I was 24. And by the time I was 24, I was a lost, sick individual. I had issues. I had plenty of issues. Right now, how can I love anybody when I didn't love myself? Even when you out there, you in love with what? You in love with money. You in love with materialistic things. You in love with trying to be a people pleaser. Please people for what? People don't give a damn about you. Those that love you gonna love you. Those that hate you gonna still hate you. Even now, sometime when I, turn on or somebody send me a link, oh, this guy talking about you, Glaze, and I don't like this. Let them talk. I don't care, oh, this person putting up paperwork and they saying this and that. Everybody and their mama know that I made a deal. I'm not proud of the fact that I made a deal, but guess what? I did what was best for me. So I don't care what anybody say. Why? Because once again, I got to live in my truth. Right now, if I was still in the jail cell on medication, drinking water out of toilet bowl, going blah, 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 guess what? Everybody have been posting about me. Oh, Glaze was a gangster. Or Glaze was a killer. Glaze was a goddamn fool. Glaze was a lost soul. Glaze was a sick individual. But right now, I love the person I am today. And guess what? If the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. I love who I am. I love what I'm doing. I love the direction it is. Before I was a lazy individual, wanted shortcut, wanted the easy way out, wanted to make a fast dollar, wanted to poison my community, wanted to take advantage. If Shabue had more than what I had, or he walk around with a bunch of jewelry, I'm scheming on him, acting like that crab in the barrel mentality for what? Only thing I had to do is, hey Shabue, man, hey, how you get that, man? Oh man, like, oh man, while I work, man, besides working or whatever, I got this side hustle, I do landscaping or whatever, or besides that or whatever, you know how you go out there in suburban area in New York or whatever, nobody like to shovel snow, I got a couple guys or whatever, and we hustling. It's all type of way to hustle legally that you do not have to pick a gun up and put in your hand, stick up. You don't have to poison your community. You don't have to kill nobody. You don't have to kick in your neighbor door when they gone because you see, man, you done went into their apartment as friends and you done case out the joint and see they got big screen TVs and all the electronic and the jewelry or whatever and they living good. How they can be living good if they live in the same project that you living in?
Exactly, it's not possible, and to say that, right, he said, like he said, what he had to deal with. Two, I had the same situation, but different. I faced 165 to life, and I took it to trial and I beat it. But guess what? I made a conscious decision because I don't know how many of y'all been sitting in a chair with 12 people that could determine whether you gonna ever see the streets again. And let me tell you something. I've been in a lot of gunshots, gun situations, bullets flying at me, all type of situations. And you know what I used to say to myself sometimes, Glaze, when I used to wake up in the morning and I used to look in the mirror? I used to say to myself, because back then, niggas be shooting and most of the time they miss their target, right? So I used to be like, why they just can't put a cat in front of me like 10 feet and he could take 2 shots at me, hit or miss, and it's all over with. You understand? It was that serious that I was willing for somebody to take 2 shots at me within 10 feet than for me to be facing these 12 individuals in a box that could determine whether I'm going to see the street again for the rest of my life. And I carried a gun every day and was willing to go to war because my joints was against. Not telling y'all to go out there and do nothing to the seaside for punk, but that's who it was against. But I made a conscious decision that after I beat that I wasn't going to be that person no more. That was willing to go out with anybody on any circumstances.
You know what? I listen to you, what you say as far as right now is, trial by 12. People don't even understand that, man. Like to me, I face that. Right now I had the murder charge, attempt murder, weapon charge, all that. And right now I was guilty. And to me, I didn't want to go to trial because I know I was guilty. But right now is when and you got to pay lawyer. So right now I have Murray Cutler at the time. And basically right now is they never
That's Bruce Cutler's brother.
Bruce Cutler father.
Father, okay.
That's Bruce Cutler, Murray Cutler, may so rest in peace, the spirit lifted. If they would have came to me and say, look, man, here, we're going to give you a deal. Plead guilty, and we'll give you a reasonable sentence, like 5 to 10, okay? 12 and a half to 25. I probably would have took that. But they didn't came to me like that. They came to me, listen, cop out to the mercy of the court, and we're going to give you life. If you're going to give me life by me pleading guilty, I might want to take my chance at trial. And see, a lot of times right now, people don't understand how unnerving that is. Where as far as you got to watch and listen to people coming up, getting up in that stand and testify against you or whatever. And right now is, you got your family in court, your mother and everybody else, and they're crying and people don't know what's going to happen. Folks, listen, man, that is so gut-wrenching. And what I'm saying is this, like even when he's saying he'd rather somebody shoot at him at 10 feet. I was just the opposite. If you pull out on me and you start shooting, I'm running. I'm gonna be like, Run DMC, run, 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 or whether you say run, Forrest, run. I wasn't the type to like, if you got me, I'm hauling. I'm not gonna never sit there and try to act like yo, shoot me. No, for what? See, that's backwards. But sometime right now, we can have death wish, and we don't even know we have death wish. But once again, right now, but who do want to live like that, man? Who want to live right now? I done got shot at plenty of time. And right now, I don't care what anybody can say. They can call me a sucker. They can call me a punk. They can call me whatever they want to call me. But guess what? Sticks and stone may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. And the difference was, like, to me, like, you know what? I tell people all the time, I am not the smartest person in the world, but I'm not the dumbest. When the odds are against you, how can you keep going against the odds? And right now I done got saved. My life saved plenty of time. Whereas right now I'm supposed to be dead, I have 1,000,001 years in jail. But right now it's only because of the grace of God and my decision making. Once again, like I say, but why put yourself in that predicament? Why? I look at it right now, what I'm doing now, a law-abiding citizen working. I could have been doing that way back when. So that's what my challenge to each and every one of you young folks is out there that's listening, man. Do it right the first time.
Make the right choices the first time.
Do it right the first time. Because once again, don't be a follower. Stop being people pleaser. Stop trying to please other people. We all have been caught up into that situation. Where as far as we trying to please and impress people for what? Right now, when I got into robbing and stealing, my mother used to always say, don't worry about it. I'll get you this, I'll get you that. But you got to wait. Because I got other bills that's more important. But when you watch your friends and them getting summer jobs and go out there buying their all fancy clothes, you want the same thing. So being that you can't get a job, you're going to start robbing, stealing, burglarizing, doing all that stupidity stuff. That's going to eventually get you 1 felony, get you 2 felony. Eventually right now, who the hell going to hire you when you got 1 or 2 felony? Who the hell going to hire you, period, man?
That's
when you are
failure.
Black, I'm saying poor, uneducated, you are in real trouble. I pray all that real good, bro. So I'm down, Hey, folks, and that's what it's all about, man. Like I said right now, it's all about how do we get back? How do we right our wrong, man? I did enough, BS in my life. I did enough stuff that I'm not proud about, that I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to right my wrong. Like I told you right now, for more of my story, Google Brian Glaze Gibbs. Right now, for those of you that's on my platform, I appreciate you if you subscribe, support, share. That's what it's all about. Wing, fact, checking in from Cincinnati. Because once again, like I said, I was a people pleaser. I want to impress people. But the bottom line is right now is, guess what? I didn't love me. I didn't know how to love me. But right now, how can I love my brother if I don't love myself?
Absolutely, and most of the time, it took one of my OGs to tell me this one time. He said, stop worrying about people that hate you. He said, because most people that hate you, they hate themselves. A lot of people, they got complexes. They got complexes with themselves. So if I got a complex with myself, it's not hard for me to have a complex with you. So the first thing that you got to clean up, the first person that you got to be held responsible for in life is you. You're the one that's held responsible. Don't use nothing else as a justification for why things turned out the way that they turned out. If you didn't put what was necessary into it to make it turn out the right way. So like my brothers say all the time over here, you know what I'm saying? We talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly because that's what y'all understand. I don't want to get up here and just be talking a whole bunch of knowledge stuff and this, that, and the third, because a lot of times y'all don't be attracted to that straight off the top. So we take all these different avenues that we taking with our life experience. Understand, we exposing our lives to y'all to help make your life better.
Hey, don't wait to be great. I like that, man. Y'all got a program coming out there to Delaware or whatever, man. Like I said right now, listen, man, I'm starting my foundation, man. And even with Shabue, God's No Street, man, it's all about how do we get back, man. To me, like I said right now, is, hey, peace to the true and living God, Shabue.
Peace.
Hey, but like I say, how do we get back, man? Right now, and we gonna go back to the basic principle. No prayer equal no power. Less prayer equal less power. More prayer equal more power. Much prayer equal much power. We got to stay pray up, man. We got to think. Regardless of how old you may be, you got to do critical thinking for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, ask yourself, before I do anything, what is the outcome going to be? What is the consequences? And that's what people do not understand. When you watch and you look at all this social media, here it is right now. People don't even watch TV no more. You know what everybody watching? YouTube, IG. We are so consumed. I remember when I went away doing time, especially in the state, went away at 17. You know what? When I was in Green Haven, guess what they used to call the TV back then? They used to call it the idiot tube. Because once again, only thing people want to be entertained. That's it. Everybody wants to be entertained. When you watch some of these platforms, these platforms are starting to turn into like the Housewife of Atlanta, the Housewife of Beverly Hills, the Housewife of New Jersey, the Housewife of New York, the Housewife of Potomac. When everybody in there, these ladies start going at it and they start pulling out each other hair and they weaves, you know, people love that. Or when these brothers start getting up on these platforms, cursing each other out, threatening each other or whatever, I can get down like that, but no, I'm at peace. I don't want to get down like that. You know what? Like I said, don't get me wrong. If somebody come to me, and if I'm not in the right state of mind, I might get pulled back in there. I'm not trying to get pulled back into that nonsense because once again, it's not worth it, man. Why the heck I want to go backwards? It's all about going forward. Peace and love to both of y'all gods and kings. Don't wait to be great. That brother in Delaware, they got some program they say they're going to be starting out there in Delaware. And that's all about how do we network, man? How do we build? How do we get that positive, powerful message out there? Getting these kids to stop picking up that break. You know what I'm saying? Throwing at the prison wall for absolutely nothing. Stop making that prison system is a multi-billion dollars operation. Right now, that prison system is a new form of slavery. At one point in time, that color right now for slavery was based upon that dark complexion. Now, the new form of slavery is based upon one thing and one thing only, that green, that U.S. currency. You got so many people investing into private jail, private prison. Whoa, you got so many people right now railroading people and guess what? Our reception went out. Your reception went out. Is it back? Is it back? Is our reception back? Video stop on my side. Wow. Hold up. Oh yeah, okay. Is it back? Somebody let me know where it's back. Is we back?
Trying to shut us down.
You know, because once again, we're not yelling and screaming. We're not being disrespectful. Is we back? Somebody let us know if we back or not. Can anybody hear me? Testing, testing. What'd he say?
I can't see.
Yeah.
You got to put your glasses
Yeah, okay,
on.
yeah,
So,
man. Hey, man, how can you see when you got on these damn shades, man? Y'all good. How can he say he can't see, man? You know, how
I
can you
need
see,
my
man?
reading glasses.
But
I
right
ain't
now,
gonna front, even if I had it all. I'll let you handle that part.
You want to be cool, but you over here with this, you know, see, that's the difference right now. This brother, I'm 91 and a half, and he's older than me.
Right.
But right now,
I'm 100.
Hey, so you see me, I got my glasses on because I want to, come on, man. And see, that's what I'm trying to say right now. Everybody want to live in denial. Live in denial for what? Everybody want to front. I'm tired of fronting. I'm tired of pretending, man. I got to be me, man. I can't be nobody else or whatever. And you know what? Like I said right now, tune in to Shabue, God in the Street. Me and him just did a powerful interview. And right now, was like I say, everybody know anything about me. Yeah, like years ago, I made a hell of a deal. I cooperate. Okay, I snitch. I made a deal. And right now, it's public knowledge. You know, years ago right now, what me and him was talking about, he got the article. When the article came out in April 13, 1989, when they say henchman was seen for the feds. So they got a picture of me, you know, with some glasses similar to this. I had a little hair then or whatever, and a suit on or whatever, and they got Pappy next to it. And right now it's like, and see, people don't understand that or whatever. It's like right now, like you got people coming out, talking about my situation, my circumstance, about, oh, I made a deal. Everybody know I made a deal. They come out with paperwork and everything like that. I don't care nothing about that. Right now, like I say, that was then, this, and now. But once again, people do not understand the system, how the system works. Nobody in the world that's alive can ever come along and say right now, Glaze used to say there's no future in front. You're right. It's still no, but it got us this far. There's no future in front, but it's got us this far. You're right. That was a hell of a job. Stop fronting. But we all are actors and actresses. We all are. And that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is. We all are actors and actresses. But why can't we be actors and actresses in a positive sense? Why can't we pretend to be doctors, lawyers, politicians, positive, powerful people? You know who's my hero? You know, every time you look around, everybody want to reward these guys when you get out of jail. Oh, that's my man. Or, yo, this guy's a strand up. Yo, listen, man, the working man and the working woman, the people that never took no shortcut, the people that was there from day one, taking care of their kids, taking care of their wife, you know what I'm saying, taking care of their household, doing it right the first time, those should be the real heroes. Those are the ones that's supposed to get the Roy Cartman treatment. We don't do that. That's how backwards our way of thinking, because we are brainwashed, thinking that right is wrong and wrong is right.
And nothing comes in life easy. Nothing. Everything that you want, whether you thinking about it from a legal, illegal capacity, anything that you do, it's gonna take, you know what I'm saying, hard work. Why not put that hard work in a positive direction than to be putting all that hard work in a negative direction? Because it's only two directions that you're gonna go off of living that life. You know what I'm saying? And it's either the penitentiary for the rest of your life or a good portion of your life, just like he said with Cat. 37 years in the state. Now he's giving them 4 more in the feds. Then he got to leave from there and go and give up 8 more in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he'll make it back out at 75. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, if he do and we still around, that he'll be up on the platform saying the same thing that we saying.
It was not worth it, man. It was not worth it. A lot of them right now, man, will tell you it wasn't worth it, man. And that's the difference, man. You know what? Like I say, I'm gonna do something totally different, man. You know, even right now, we came up in that project, man. Who you think was like right now, like the best dressers? You know, like the fly guy. Who do you think was the flies in the project when we was coming up? Like, you know, between the age of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18?
I'm going to say 2 cats. I'm going to say my man.
No. I told you. We say Domino, but
okay,
I told you
right.
about Gangsta Larry.
Right, and I should have said him because that's my man.
He
we
right
grew
there in
up
your area.
together. Right. Yeah. No, we hung out. Me, him, Box, all of us, we was going down to Delancey Street as young niggas, you know what I'm saying? Take the shit, fly. Doing what we got to do, and shop it. You know what I'm saying? That was my man like that. You know, but like I said, you know what I'm saying? People have their perceptions, and maybe because, we was in the same box just like Domino was too, so I said Domino first, but then once Glaze said, yo, you can't forget Gangsta Larry, I said, that's 100.
Gangsta Larry, and shout out to his sisters, man. It's like Larry was the only boy, man. And Larry died at a very young age, man. You know, right now, Larry was a fly young guy.
April the 12th, 1979.
How old Larry was when he passed?
Shoot, we the same age. So in 79, I was 17.
So 17 years old, man. And right now, he passed away at 17 years old. Fly guy, dances being... Herbert Edwards, good to see your brother speaking positive. Newport News, bad news. Shabue, do you know the Milner family? The Milliner family. Do you know the Milliner family?
I know my man Shabue. That was his last name. That taught a lot of
Plaza?
people. No, not that one. Okay. He was one from out of Crown Heights that taught a lot of brothers in Crown Heights. So I do know Milliner.
Hey, but like I say, shout out to Gangsta Larry. Larry was a young guy, fly guy. Dances behind off, man. And they call him Gangsta Larry. They call him what? Shifty?
Shifty, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Period. And shout out to his whole family, man. Those girls was fly, man. Hey, right now, if you want to know anything about fashion, you watch. What's their last name? Warren?
Warren, yeah.
Warren. Hey, I'm talking about these girls was original, the Devil Wear Prada, man. Those sisters put it down, man. Shout out, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Seal, you know what I'm saying?
Seal.
All of them, man. And see, people, we don't even understand that, man.
And they got older sisters that was real fly. They used to come back and forth wearing the mink coats.
I didn't know that, man.
Jumping out of limos.
Only thing I knew was that
was
like Shana Nah, man. So rest in peace, man. Okay, and like I said right now, man, when you look at that, man, and you sit back and look at it, how many people didn't make it, man? How many people didn't make it? Even when I go back now, man, like it's just like, hurt me a lot when certain things that you see. I remember the first time I got out and I was able to go back to New York. And right now, when I got back to New York, and as I was coming from LaGuardia Airport, coming and entering and seeing Linden Plaza, you remember how Linden Plaza used to be so nice, neat, and clean, and looking at Cypress. And when I look at Cypress, as I was driving in, I start crying because that's how dingy and dirty and like, whoa. We grew up there. We escaped there. And those are things that you got to count, man. But those are the kids that still trapped in that environment, are trapped in that concrete jungle. Just because you're born into poverty, that don't mean you have to stay there.
Yeah.
Always remember, all man and woman, y'all young kids, y'all young prince and young princess, y'all young kings and young queens. And right now, all of y'all all rich in your own thoughts and ideal. All y'all sitting on $1 million ideals, but it's up to you to tap into it and put it into effect.
And don't never let nobody tell you what you can't do. Don't let nobody discourage you and say what you think that you can do can't happen. Because there's lots of people, inventors, all type of people that was discouraged. And look at them now. Look at Bill Gates when he first came out with the PC. You know, when I first went to college and we had computers back then, it was the big computers, read, go, and all that, you know. Now, look at the phone, what it's able to do. You know, we when we was raised, there was only, you know, one kind of phone, and it only had two colors, black or white. The big phone like this. Then they started coming out with touch-tone phone. You know, cars, there was no, you know, if your people had a deuce in the corner, electrical windows and all that in the car back then, it was, we never thought it would be a time, you know, Glaze, where you could talk to your car, your car talk, you know, back, could pick up locations, all these things. You know what I'm saying? Technology has advanced us greatly. You know what I'm saying? But with all that being said, the mind state of the people have to be correct.
Hey, let me show you something right now. I want to shout out to my girl, Money Love, Renee Mitchell. Right now is Senator. Okay, she got a award. Congratulations, Renee Mitchell, upon the occasion of her designation as an honoree of the Power Woman. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn by Snap Media. Here it is right now. This young lady right now dedicated her life to the homeless, making sure people have somewhere to live. People, we don't understand, it's an epidemic out there. People are homeless. People are hungry. People got a lot of mental illness that's not being addressed. A lot of stuff is being swept under the rug. And
you been to LA before?
No, I've been to LA years ago. I was trying to get plastic surgery. That was years ago.
Yeah, I went out there recently, and man, I've never seen nothing like that before in my life when it came to that.
And that's why we got to count our blessing, folks. There's so many different things that's out there that we got to be aware of. Right now, we too busy fighting against one another. For what? When we could be helping each other. We got to kill, you know what I'm saying, slowly but surely, that crab in the barrel mentality and start uplifting and empowerment each other. Right now is when you got people around you in your circle, you got to ask yourself the quality question: do they add value or they take value away? If you're around people that don't add value, guess what? Why are you with them? If only thing, every time you're around, you're getting in trouble or you're going broke. No, you can't do that right now. Ask yourself each and every day, brother, this person around you, do they add value or they take value away? And when you see, the first thing when people talk about adding value, they think about monetary. It got to be about money. No, it can be laughter, inspiration, encouragement, uplifting, empowerment. That's what it's all about. How do we help each other get to that next level? How do it? Right now, I've been working on so many different things. You know what? And at times I feel I'm at that 99 yard, 4 inches. And you know what? You got to push through it. You got to push through it. What the sense you put all that work into it, then you drop it? Nah, we got to stop being lazy. We got to stop, like he say, cannot. That word cannot should be not in your vocabulary. Because once again, that's like you say, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't ride a bike. Okay, cool. The first time you got on a bike as a kid, guess what? Yeah, you probably fell off a couple of times and scraped up your elbow and your knee. You know, probably got a cut on your face. But guess what? You crying, I ain't never getting on that bike no more. But guess what? Now you go back outside a couple of days later and then you see little Bobby. Here it is right now, you 10. Bobby like 5 years old. He riding his bike with no hand. Nah. Man, if little Bobby can do it, why can't I? But once again, if you keep that in your mind that I cannot ride a bike. I cannot read. I cannot write. I cannot be a law-abiding, productive citizen. Guess what? You setting yourself up to fail. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. If God be for me, who can be against me, man? Don't never handicap yourself. People talk trash about me. Oh, well, he don't pronounce his word properly. Or he don't use plurals and sing. I don't care nothing about that. I had a speech problem as a kid. And you know what? I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm not going to handicap my own self. I know my shortcoming. But guess what? I am not going to be silent. I'm not going to be silent. And that's what y'all have to do. Overcome all your obstacle. Don't look at an obstacle as an enemy. Look at an obstacle as a friend. Because each and every obstacle you overcome, the stronger you become, the better you become. And that's what it's all about. Right. Don't never sell yourself short.
Make your weaknesses
Believe
your
in
strength.
you. Believe in you. And once again, what you got to eliminate from your vocabulary cannot. That should not exist in your vocabulary. I can do all things. Right now, that's like me saying, I cannot get a job. I can't work. Man, get out of here. I can do all things through Christ. Moses, don't wait to be great. Moses had a speech impediment. And you know what? Hey, it is what it is. I don't act like I'm an English professor. You know what? Hey, look, I used to stay away from certain words that I couldn't pronounce. You know? Even right now, sometimes when I pronounce certain people's name here, no disrespect, no offense. You are just what God wants you to be. And that's why I say I am blessed and highly favored. If I had 10,000 tongues, I would not be able to praise him enough. If I had 10,000 tongues. And it's all about right now, like what me and my brother Shabue gonna do. We're gonna do more than this. We're gonna try to do it once a month, man. Get together and build positivity. Right now, what we talking about right now, we getting old. So sometimes we lose it. Sometimes you can be in the best shape, then you fall off. You start eating, bad habit, not working out. Right now, guess what? I just started my Panoxol. And even right now, anybody that's suffering from high sugar, which lead to diabetes, high cholesterol, okay, high blood pressure. Right now, Panoxol is a natural ingredient that can help, curb that. Right now, what is the #1 cause of death? You know what? High blood pressure. Okay, it's a silent killer. It hits you. Heart attack, massive stroke, all that. We don't do none of the stuff that we need to do to stay healthy. Right now, this is not baby powder. How you think I get to be 91 and a half? When you look good, you feel good, guess what? You do good. But what you have to do is eliminate all negative people, all negative energy, all negative vibe. You gotta, T_River, what's up, my brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining me.
When you know better, you do better.
Thanks for joining me, man. And like I say, hey, positive energy, hey, Kush Boss, how you doing? And even right now, like I say, you know what? My only guilty pleasure I have is cigars. That's my guilty pleasure. Right now, like I said, you know me. Did I get high when I was a kid? I didn't get high. I didn't drink. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I didn't gamble either. And most people call me the women pleaser. I'm the cold crushing lover, the one and supreme.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? Glaze brought it up early about Tut, you know what I'm saying? And never having no bodies or nothing like that. And a lot of y'all don't know why they gave our brother, all that time, but 1994, he was the first one in the state of New York that got tried by the feds with their state convictions to enhance, you know what I'm saying, their sentence. Now, I don't know nothing, I can't speak on nothing that I don't know about, but my personal thing, because he was my brother and that I know him well, that was a situation where they might have wanted him to say something about Puffy that didn't have nothing to do with nothing. I don't know. But one thing that I do know is that man got too much time for what, was involved with that situation. And Keith Watkins and, a few other brothers that's back home, they got their thing going right now, he got his organization, No Kids Left Behind, and he got a nice campaign going to free Tut. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna be diligent with that. My brother Kendu, just got blessed. He's home again. I was glad they had a conversation and got old matters squashed. And that's what we all need to do, man. Leave, them skeletons, man, in the closet, man. We grown men now. We do grown men and grown people things, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of things that we did as child, and as children, like they say, when you're a child, you think like a child. Yeah. But when you become an adult, you got to think like an adult. You got to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we asking for, is that y'all be responsible for your actions and understand the consequences that could come with those actions. Because once you in their grip, they don't want to hear none of that. Look at Young Thug, man. That was a. I'm gonna tell you, man. I ain't seen no lawyers, and I ain't seen. That was the first time that a record company ever came out to go to court for a rapper that's in a situation like he's in. But in the same token, you know, it was to no avail because just like the judge said, a lot of y'all don't understand. Like Glaze said, when you get that reputation, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes things get put on you that you really not doing. But what the judge said is, the main thing, y'all covered all the areas, y'all got, police officers that'll monitor him for $1 million a month, and he's not gonna be able to do this. You even had a 15-year-old boy that got on the stand, very, very articulate for a 15-year-old young black man. And with all of that, the, lives coming and everything else, it still couldn't help him because one thing that they forget, them people are still listening. So if you still calling shots and you still threatening people and all that, you are still a menace to society. You are endangerment to society. And they're definitely not going to let you get back out on the street where you could cause witnesses to change their testimonies or end up, not even able to testify. And like I said, I really feel for our young black males that's getting caught up in the system being legally rich. But I hope that y'all young are really paying attention to what they doing. Because if you thinking that you're gonna still be running around gang, gang, bang, bang, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna go down like that. They will come and they don't care how much money that you got. What is it, Glaze? It's the United States of America versus Brian Glaze Gibbs. It's the United States of America versus Shabue be a law. We're not beating the U.S. government.
They got a hell of a conviction rate, man. They got a hell of a conviction rate. But folks, look at what as far as right now is. And sometimes what we do is we put, when you let yourself, I remember reading something about from Ice-T and D.L. Hughley. They said right now is, guess what? When you name yourself Young Thug, Gunna, right now is, here it is, you labeling yourself Young Thug. What that mean? You're a thug. Okay, you name yourself Gunna. Everybody know Gunna, blah, 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 blah. So folks, like I say, sometimes when you talk words into existence, or you labeling it, guess what? You setting yourself up to fail. And that's what they're looking at. So once again, you think if his name was Boy Scout, Choir Boy,
Drake.
Come on. What you think would have happened? See, now they're looking at you different. Oh, that's Choir Boy. But you going by the name of Young Thug. Are you going by the name Gunna? Are you going by the name Killer? Are you going by the name Hoodlum? What you think, little Hoodlum? Homicide. So automatically, people perception is everything. Your nickname.
When we was growing up, homicide was called homicide because he supposedly did homicide. So that's why we call it.
What homicide are you talking about?
I'm talking about homicide from downtown.
Which one is that?
Bed-Stuy.
No, see that's what I'm saying. That's a misconception. Because once again, I know him. There's nothing like that. So that's what I say. He'll whip you behind. Mm-hmm. But right now, when it comes to the gunplay, it was not. See, that's what I'm trying to say. But still, right now, people give you a name, give you a tag, and sometimes that tag follow you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes that tag follow you, and that's why you gotta be careful what you label yourself, man. You gotta be careful what people, label you as. Right. I was once labeled as a menace to society, and guess what? It followed. It followed. So once again, right now, folks, in order to do better, you got to know better, and you got to live accordingly, man. And once again, right now, don't get caught up in that trick bag, man. Trying to be people pleaser, man. Stop trying to impress people, man. Only people right now and being part of the gang. Only gang you want to be a part of your wife, your kids. You know what I'm saying? Your parent, okay, your grandparents.
Because them the ones going to support you when you behind them walls. Because a lot of your friends, like I said, man, cats will go to the strip club and throw away $5,000 in the strip club that night. Did they send you a money order? Did they go by the house and see if your wife now that's struggling because you ain't out here with your kids, they helping them. Because when I was out here and some of my people went in, I went by every month and knocked on the door. Didn't even go inside because I didn't have no reason to go inside because that was their wife, not mine. All I was looking to do was to help them out. But the majority of individuals nowadays, they're saying they're your man, they're your crony, your crime me, all of that jazz. They not gonna be the ones that's gonna be there for you. My girl used to go at times and have to go all the way from the other side of Brooklyn to the other side so that my mans and them would give them money in the cold. And she had to go and stand out there for 2 hours just to get $50 for me to have commissary. But I'm laying up in here for something that we all got a part of. But you know what I'm saying? I'm handling the weight.
Out of sight, out of mind, man.
But that's how it goes. So y'all better listen, man. Don't end up in the position and then say, oh, Glaze and Shabue was up here telling me this same thing, or whoever. Because I'm quite sure it didn't begin with our conversation. I'm quite sure your mother, your grandmother, your teacher, somebody told you that you was headed on the wrong path.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying right now is like, hey, folks, listen, man. Here it is. This ain't nothing new, man. We got to stop that epidemic, man. We got to stop these kids from picking up that break thrown at the prison wall for absolute nothing. We got to be better mentor. You know what I'm saying? Teach these kids trade. Teach them right now. Guide them, counsel them, train them. Take somebody under your wing. Teach them how to be law-abiding, productive citizen, man. Right now, guess what? It take a village to raise a community. Come on.
That's right.
And that's what we got to get back to the basics to. And what I'm trying to say right now, folks, listen, man. I'm not trying to candy coat anything right now and trying to act like, I was a Boy Scout. Because trust I once was, but I love the person who I am today. And like I said right now, thank each and everybody for joining us or whatever. Right now, we're tuning in. I got a lot of good things coming up on the platform. I got a lot of things that we're working on or whatever. And like I said right now, me and Shabue gonna try to get together on more. And right now, how do we get back? How do we get back? How do we coach? Doc Kim, what's up, my brother?
Praise God.
Land, East New York, checking in. What's up, man? What's up, my brother? And like I say, that's what it's all about, man. How do we get back, man? How do we get back? How do we right our wrong, man? That's what it's all about, man. So just like I said right now, listen, y'all. Check out Guards in them Street. Give them your platform, man.
God in them Streets.
How can they subscribe to your channel, man?
You can subscribe to my channel, which is called God in them Streets. I need y'all to make sure that when you hit the bell, that you hit the bell that says personalized. So that way, every time I put out, content, that it'll come to you directly. And like Glaze said, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be getting together more frequently, doing these things to show you that we not just up there, you know what I'm saying, trying to, fascinate people with a whole bunch of old street stories or whatever, but we really doing this to give back and to try and change the wrong direction that a lot of our youth is going in, just like we went in those directions when we was the youth. And we had people that told us stuff too. And like I said, we played two different sides. The only thing that happened that was different between me and him was that I played ball. So because I still played sports, I stayed in school, and instead of me going to the prison compound, you know what I'm saying, I made a decision to leave and go off to school, which, a lot of things happened for a lot of reasons back then, which, that'll be brought up later on down the line. But once again, man, y'all make the right choices while y'all young, man. Because like I said, in mine, I went to college, but my, junior year, I came back home, was standing in the hallway with my OGs that just came back out of prison, once again, wanting to impress them. So I got a joint on me that they done told me, when you got it on, you don't never tell nobody. So I didn't even tell them. And when the police came, when we was young growing up, when Porgy and Jack and them came, they would just tell us, oh, you loitering, get out the hallway. But things changed. And that one time that they didn't tell me to get out the hallway, they decided to pat frisk me. What did I have? A 25 automatic on me. So now, the year later, when I got my 4-year college degree, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't worth nothing because I had gotten the F for failure. So remember, man, make the right choices while you're young. Don't let nobody lead you into peer pressure. Because a lot of those peers, when things go wrong, they not gonna be there for you. It's gonna be your mama and your daddy, or you know, your sister or your brothers or whoever, you know what I'm saying, that really got unconditional love for you, that's gonna suffer because of your actions. Stop being selfish, y'all.
Hey, listen, y'all. Thank you for joining us, man. Hey, hit the like button, subscribe, share. If you like the information, share it with somebody. Share with people that's in your contact. Share with people that's in your DM. Share with people right now on your, what, email. Share.
Facebook,
That's what it's all about,
wherever.
support. Hey, get your signed copy of the Beyond Lucky book, the Brian Glaze Gibbs story, Beyond Lucky. It's a true story of crack money, murder, and redemption by emailing me, Brian, B-R-I-A-N, Gibbs, Gibbs, 1201 @yahoo.com. Hey, once again, like I say, thank you for the love, thank you for the support. I'm nearing 60,000. And once again, me and this guy just did a hell of an interview. And once again, right now, I don't know when he's gonna cut it up and drop it or whatever, but once again, I'll advertise on my platform as well. But right now, show some support to guards in them streets. Hey, peace, love, and prosperity. One love, one love. You're lucky just to have just one love, one love, one love. Let's be friends. How many people have?
Peace is the absence of all confusion, y'all.
Okay, one love.
One love.